He's next in Gamesworld.
Who is the boy who's bigger and badder? The boy.
Good evening, everybody. It's Tuesday, it's Gamesworld, and that's why you tune in. We love you tuning in. We love doing the show. It's me, it's Big Boy Barry. This is my Will Hanrahan clipboard, as I said, fashioned by him by yesterday. And what does Tuesday mean? Well, basically it means that, you know, you're almost halfway through the week. Face it, tomorrow's almost halfway through the week. Things are getting better, things are getting good, and it's time to look at loads of great console games. And this is what's come up in today's 15-minute spectacular.
Thanks, big boy. Coming up on tonight's show, we have a preview of International Superstar Soccer Deluxe on the N64. It's quite a mouthful. Also, Namco Museum 3 features Pole Position 2, Ms. Pac-Man, and a load of retro-tastic games. Talking of retro, here's Richard, Star Wars.
The room! Look at this, everybody. Double vision. 2 dolphins, 2 cars. In fact, this is the start of Barry's Wii Starsky and Hutch. Hitting Starsky. So here we go! It wasn't that brilliant. What an opener for a show. Fantastic. Does Chris Evans have that? I think not. Okay, it's time to take an upcoming game. Now, a big have slashed the price of the PlayStation. I don't know if they're getting worried by another big console coming out recently, but they have. They've slashed it now down to an amazing 120 odd quid. That's right. Search for the best price you can find. We want to hear if you find it anywhere cheaper than £120. So naturally, because of this great PlayStation news, we're going to be taking a look at an N64 game. So here it is, International Superstar Soccer. That doesn't make sense, does it? Boom!
International game. I mean, come on, let's face it, we've had the N64 for about a month now, and so bang to rights, we should have a football game. This is an update of the best of those football games. International Superstar Soccer was great because it didn't take itself all that seriously. It had overhead kicks, sliding tackles, little flicks over the top of your head. It had just about the lot. It was fun and it was entertaining. The N64 version takes it one step further indeed, because this time at least it's got the graphics to go with the amazing gameplay. We don't quite know what the English version is going to be like. This is only the Japanese version. So they might tweak it here, they might tweak it there, and they're bound to put new commentary on it.
Quick! Enos, Daisy Duke! Roscoe Pico train is gaining! Book him, Dano! Okay, Huggy Bear! Hooray! Sorry, I'm having far too much fun with my Dukes of Hazzard. Come Starsky and Hutch. It's sort of, they've melded, and here they are on the Barry Show. Don't we love them? I brought them back for a brand new generation. Okay, everybody, it's time for the reviews. Being the Barry Show, we've got the #1 games for the #1 systems. First of all, we have Namco Museum 3. This is brilliant. This is a whole load of collection of great Namco arcade games. These aren't conversions. These are the actual arcade machines running through an emulator on the PlayStation here. Thank you. You've got Pole Position 2, you've got Dig Dug, and you've got Galaxian. Can you believe it? Fantastic. Also, we have the N64 Spectacular Killer Instinct Gold. Hey, it's 2 years old, but they brought it out anyway. Enjoy. Room! Do you know what? I think Namco are having some. Yeah, I think they're making some of these games up and having a darn good laugh. And all those people out there who are going, oh yes, well I completed that one in 1978 while I was only 4 and my parents were passing through Thailand, blah blah, bling 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 blah. I mean, Tower of Juga, you're having a laugh, you are. Anyway, this rather nifty compilation also features Galaxians, the finest Space Invaders game that wasn't actually Space Invaders. Ms. Pac-Man, which confused everybody at the time. Why didn't they just go the whole hog and call it Pac-Woman? And the mighty Pole Position 2, which remained a benchmark in arcade races until Outrun hovered into view some years later. Also tucked away on the corner of the CD is Dig Dug, a game so amazingly cute that it even made throwing yourself into holes in the ground and blowing people up look reasonably endearing.
I thought I had enough of this when I went to the Museum of Moving Image, but apparently there's some people out there who still want retro gaming. And this is good. I mean, there are some classic games on it. Galaxians, I think, is even better than the original Space Invaders, because those little diving things. that go to the bottom of the screen. The other games are just as good. There's Dig Dug, there's Pole Position 2. I have a feeling though they might be beginning to scrape the bottom of the barrel. I mean, Power of Jaruga. Anybody heard of that one at home? Anybody answered the postcard? No. Basically, we are getting towards the point where we can't see any more classic retro games.
Volume 1 was fun. Volume 2 was poo. Volume 3 has got all the best games. It's got Glacium, it's got Dig Dug. Dig Dug was superb, and I really like it because I kind of like sitting there in my bedroom late at night and just playing those retro games like I used to, just once.
Putting the word gold after a title never bodes terribly well, does it? It can mean one of two things. A cable channel devoted to the entire late 70s back catalogue of Emmerdale Farm, or Chris Talent polluting medium wave with Song for Guy by Elton John 56 times a day. Either of which are likely to tempt a normally sane, restrained individual to chew off his own foot. Mercifully, this title features the golden suffix for no other reason than it includes the characters, backdrops and moves from both the original arcade Killer Instinct and its dynamic sequel. Okay, so it's not an entirely arcade perfect, but what's a few frames of animation between friends? Each and every one of your favourite characters are here in full muscle flexing, body stripping effect, and Creators Rare's revolutionary cinematic visuals are still pretty impressive, even in these polygon-infatuated times. The second silliest beat-em-up in the world has come. Are those funny little pads up to the punishment? You'll just have to wait and see.
Killer Instinct Gold, Killer Instinct Fool's Gold more like it, because Killer Instinct is never the sort of game that I'd recommend anybody to play. Because look, let's face it, Tips Bouncer, he gives you these weird old cheat codes that say press L1, press L2, press A, press B, press B. At least that gives you something that you don't normally get in the game. It's a cheat code. This, you have to do that just to play the basis of the game. Killer Instinct was always my least favourite beat 'em up, and Killer Instinct Gold just puts that nasty little hundreds and thousands on top of the cake of poo for me. I hate it.
We can gather from that Rick doesn't particularly like that game, and neither do I really. I mean, it's a shame. The timing of the release of this game is tragic. Basically, when this appeared in the arcade, it was a huge wow, and it was the first glimpse that people had of Nintendo 64 technology. And now it's actually appeared on Nintendo 64. It's seriously old hat. We've got Virtua Fighter 3, we've got Tekken 3, we've got virtually anything else at all, really, because this game looks seriously dated, and I can't really recommend it.
Dreadful!
See?
Of course, around the same time that Huggy Bear was avoiding Daisy Duke and such, a little movie was released in the cinema called Star Wars. Star Wars Mania has hit the UK again, good and proper. Shadows of the Empire is selling very, very well on the N64, and of course everyone's gone to see the new movie. I have. These are 7 tickets for Star Wars. 7 tickets for Star Wars Special Edition. I've seen it 7 times because it is that good. It's gone straight to the #1 slot in the UK box office, and everyone's gone Star Wars crazy. So knowing this, we sent Gamesworld's Chewbacca himself in his Chewbacca coat. We sent Richard down to Forbidden Planet London to take a look at the Star Wars timeline, see where it all started, have a look at the merchandise and have a little chit chat to the people of Forbidden Planet about the phenomenon that is Star Wars. Okay, you've got us. We didn't have a game to show you, but you'll enjoy the feature anyway.
Star Wars is big business today. We've all been drooling over Shadows of the Empire on the N64, so we thought we'd take a closer look at the story behind it. What better place to come than Forbidden Planet in London, the biggest comic shop in the UK. We thought we'd seek out a few experts to give us a lowdown on the new Star Wars revival.
Star Wars is back with a vengeance, as you're no doubt aware, with video games and stuff, and to come with that and the trilogy of movies, there's a huge range of toys and things coming through. We have action figures, small action vehicle adventure packs that sort of break down into little episodes from the Star Wars. I mean, this one's Yavin's Rebel Base. It looks like an ordinary pair of Star Wars binoculars, but it opens out and you've got the vehicles and things, and there's a huge range of these things, judging from Darth Vader things to Bespin and lightsabers and you name it, and it's there. Aren't you just a casual to be a stormtrooper?
Look, I'm sorry, I'm not doing this. I have my pride. I'm a professional. Rick, word.
what you have to remember about Star Wars, of course, that in a sense it kicked off that whole revival in merchandising. If you go back to the 1950s and look at the golden age of science fiction movies, the problem was there were hundreds of them, but nobody did any kind of marketing on them. Then, of course, in the 60s, science fiction fell away a bit. We were into the Hammer horror period, you know, the violence of the horror movie. In the early 70s, science fiction tried to drag itself up again. You know, they kept talking about a Star Trek movie that never happened. We had Logan's Run, which was considered to be the blockbuster of 1976. And then suddenly the next year, 1977, out comes Star Wars, and the whole thing turned around.
Very impressive, General. The Emperor will be most pleased.
Ultra cool. Richard, I want all that stuff. If you can find a lightsaber for me to play with, I want to take it home and play with it. That's certain. Okay, anyway, here he is, a guy twice as mean as Boba Fett, stranger looking than Darth Vader, and less facial hair than an Ewok, should we say. Here he is, the Tips Bouncer.
Excuse me, Jack. If your game's not on this, you just can't come in. Oh, Genie! Ah, Virtua Fighter Kids, eh?
Here's a little tip for you on Virtua Fighter Kids on a Saturn. In the player select screen, hold down the left shift button and then select your character. Keep holding the button down until the game starts. This will activate the wireframe mode, allowing yourself to be transparent.
Right then, I guess you can go in. Hold on a second. I don't suppose you've got any spare R2 units, have you?
There you go, the Tips Bouncer helping out of Jawa. That guy has the robust physique of Salacious Crumb himself. Okay, tomorrow night is...